Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming in for the last installment of the Thursday night Homestead Hangout. We always end it here on Kettle Kitchen. We're going to go ahead and get started. Here we go.
Down in Louisiana, where the tall, tall pine trees grow, there live a preacher daughter and she knows how to jelly roll. And a papa want to save my soul, but a sweet talking daughter, Lord, she loves to jelly roll. Yes, she do.
Well, again, thank you for coming in, everybody. I want to say hi. We have our Homestead Hangout homies on the chat over here. I'm going to go ahead and bring our guest up, and that guest would be Cayce from Ormsby Farms. Hello, my friend.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, Tony. Hello.
Is it a little late for you? I always forget you're on the far other side.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. Yeah, no, it's not that late. No.
Okay.
You know homesteaders, we're up all hours of the night.
Yeah. Is there really a clock that applies to homesteaders, really?
I think it's just the light. When the light comes up and the light goes down.
I get that. Well, I want to take a chance to say hi to everybody that's in here. We have Dark Lord Minute, always sliding in first. Thank you. Miss Hardknack Farms is Wendy, and she had the channel Hardknack Farms, and I think she's transitioning to a second channel. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for coming in. Miss Blue from Blue Self-Reliance. Hello. It's a little early. I believe it's 4 a.m. over there.
Right.
Yeah. White Rock Homestead, Tara and Jason, thank you for coming in. Teresa Jukiewicz, thank you for coming in. Rena LaRue, Joe Fix It For You, thank you for coming in. Nanny Tam says she's ready for my question at the end of the night, so we'll see how this goes. We have, Ormsby Farms has joined us. That is so cool. Low family. Biddy Boo Brown. That's a new name to me. Hadn't seen that one before. We also have Lori. Oh, my screen jumped. Gotta love that. Lori Prepping for Heaven's in with us. Ginger Not For Nothing Homestead. Thank you for coming in. Johnny Gilliam Farms. Thank you for coming in. Annette, our urban homestead. Now she's even worse. I think she's like 12 noon or something like that.
Right.
The next day.
Right. She's in the future.
Yes. I always kid with her. I'm going to have you buy me a lottery ticket, and then you tell me the winning numbers, and then I'll go. Yeah.
Right. Ooh, that's a good idea.
It would never work out. I'm sure.
Probably wouldn't. Well,
Blue says it's 3 a.m. and she's been awake for nearly 2 hours. You got to love ADHD. Piroki, hello. Thank you for coming in. I'm trying to get to the bottom. This thing is, whoa. It keeps flipping up. It's 11:03 for Annette Friday morning. So.
Future.
Way future. All right, guys. Thank you for all coming in. I appreciate it. Cayce, are you ready?
I'm ready. I am ready.
All right, here we go.
Throw down.
Okay. So I looked, and all this most of this information you can find in the description box. It has inside the description box, we have your name, your handle, and then a link to your page. So please go over and check out Cayce and the family.
Yes, thank you.
I was interested. I was intrigued, maybe might be the better word. Do you know how many views you've had on your channel since you've started it?
With the homesteading side of it,
I'm
assuming I don't even think
so.
I've looked. I don't even think I've looked, to be honest.
YouTube has you listed at 130,000, almost 131,000 views on your channel since you started. So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Well,
And
that's
then
kind of cool that people
that is
watch that
cool.
much.
You can't complain about it. I mean,
Oh,
that's good.
I'd
I'm
get
gonna go
annoyed of
look
me after
real.
like 3 hours.
That's funny. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna have some funky noises going on. There we go. And then you have 3,000, just over 3,000 subscribers and 482 videos. Did you ever think you would have 482 videos?
No. No, only because, when I started my channel, originally it was our family's reality show. And
Right.
then when I
Which
started
we'll get to that. Don't divulge
okay,
too much
I won't
information.
divulge too much, but when I got to homesteading, I was such a newbie. I was like,
Right.
I don't know what I got to make videos on. And so
I
to
get
know that I have over 400, I'm like, oh, well, I learned
that's good.
something, didn't I?
Yep. Dale, 9 Acre Family Farms, thank you for coming in. I'm assuming Miss Lisa's with you. Annette just recently hit through 30,000 views, so congratulations. Every step matters.
Mhm.
It
It
doesn't matter
does.
how small or big, because we all start at the same. One Jenny over at Jenny Scratch Made Kitchen, she's always said this to me. I don't care who you are, where you came from, or what you did. We all put our pants on the same way.
Ain't that the truth?
Yes. So, all right. So we'll go ahead and get into this, because you sound like you got a lot of information you want to share. So let's get started.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I hope so.
Why did you pick your channel name, or why did you guys come up with the channel name, Ormsby Farms?
Ormsby is actually my grandmother's maiden name.
Okay.
And my grandmother passed away probably 3 months after I was born. So
Mhm.
never really got to know her. But from what I hear from my mother, her kind of dream with my grandfather was to kind of live more of a country life than the city life. So
Right.
I joked about it one day and called it Ormsby Farm, and it just kind of stuck. So I think I even put it on Facebook, and I was like, well, I can't change it now.
Yeah, you're kind
So
of stuck with it at
yeah,
that point. Hello, Sweet Miss Christine. Thank you for coming in. Would you say then that, well, I'll ask that after I ask these first 4 questions. When did you start your channel on content creation where you're at now? And then this is where you can divulge how you started and what it originally was and all that.
What it was now, I think it was 2020,
Okay.
maybe late 2020 on homesteading.
Okay.
Before that, we had a family reality show called Being Cayce, and it was
Mhm.
3 years before that. So I think we started the reality side of it 2018. I know, because
So
we started shooting in 17.
YouTube has you listed as starting in August of 18.
August of 18. Okay, so that's when our first video went out. I remember that we shot our videos about 6 months before they came out. So it was
Okay.
probably beginning of 2018, end of 2017 that we started
Okay.
recording.
So then when you started your YouTube channel, then I have to assume, based on what you just said, it was started as content creating, just a different format.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was even a different tag, and it was cool that YouTube let me change the tag, because at first it was Being Cayce, it was like youtube.com Being
Right.
Cayce, and then I slowly got over that and then moved to the Ormsby Farm side. So I'm glad that they let me change it without having to completely change or start a new channel.
Because back when you started, you couldn't just do that like you can now. You were stuck
No.
into, I think you were allowed only 2 times.
Two times, and I think you had to be on for so long before you could change it. So, or have so many like views or subscribers.
Right. So much has changed just in the short time I've been on. So I get that.
Right. All the rules.
Yes. Let's Trade Paint. Thank you for coming in. Okay. So the third question in this first segment is, what's your channel about? Now, some of these questions I already know answers to. This is for the audience in case they don't know who you are.
Well, now the channel is pretty much about the journey to homesteading. So in the end of our reality show, I divulged that I wanted to buy farmland and did. And I moved out here first. And then my mother moved out here probably 6-7 months after I did on the homestead. And then my brother and now sister-in-law.
I thought that was cool.
Yes. Well, I can call her it now.
Yeah.
She's stuck with us now. Have their little 2-acre plot in the back. So, and they're going to do their second property out here. So it's a slow kind of, so it's our journey. It's about our journey of learning to garden, raise animals, all that kind of stuff, a simpler lifestyle than what we were before.
Okay. These garden adventures. Thank you for coming in. And I think what part of that goes into what you were just saying. You've called her sister for a long time, but now she is your sister.
She is.
But she is your sister still.
She is. And what's funny is, and I did it in my speech at their wedding, is the day that I met her, because my brother's very private they were dating almost a year before the family met her. And the day that I met her, I was like, oh, yeah, nice to meet you. Oh, by the way, I have a reality show. Do you want to be on it? That's literally how our conversation went.
Wow.
And she was like, yeah, okay. And so 6 years
she
later,
seems to be one that's willing to get out there a little more than your brother is.
She is. She has to pull my brother out. Literally pull.
I get it. All right. Can you tell us what milestones on YouTube have stood out for you the most?
Okay, so I think for everyone, I'll have to say the first 1,000 subscribers.
Okay,
that was pretty exciting. Because I didn't think I would get to 1,000, and that was back during the reality show. And then I have to say 3,000 because it seemed like I teetered on 2,995 for like 2 years
ever.
And and I'm so like happy for my other buddies and friends that I do podcasts and stuff with, and they were going to 16 and 5 and 7. And I'm like, yep, I'm still here at 2,900, so I would say 3,000 was another one. That was a huge milestone.
And I think all of us do go through, regardless of where that number is, you go through, and I know, because you talked about the 2,900 being a struggle, but there was other struggles, I'm sure, along the way where you felt like, okay, I've been at the same number for 2 months. What's going on here?
Monetization. Yes. Those last 300 watch hours, it seems like those crawl on like a little spider.
Well, and the problem with them is they do crawl on, but they crawl off really fast. And people don't get it. You almost have to double what you want to be. Okay, so for example, if I'm at 300 subs this year, and I've got 500 watch hours, to hold that a year later, because it's a rolling 365, I almost have to have the 300 as well as something to keep it boosted up. And I don't think people get that concept.
They don't.
No.
They think it's like super easy and that you get monetized and then it's you're rolling in the dough and all that kind of stuff. And that's not really how it works, but
not even close, but okay.
Not close at all. And I was monetized, but our channel got demonetized. So that was kind of another question.
Another story down the road we'll talk
another
about.
Story.
I think I might have an interview section where we call it part 2.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
You kind of have hit on it a couple times. So would you like to tell everybody about your podcast? Because I'm not sure everybody knows about that.
Oh, yeah. So it's a homesteading podcast. One thing that I had learned before we started the podcast is that I really were starting to despise the morning shows. You want to get up in the morning and you want to have a coffee and kind of watch the news or a news entertainment show.
Right.
And they were just getting worse and worse as the month and years went on.
Yeah.
And so then you're just sitting there in silence and you're like, oh gosh, I wish there was one that I could listen to and learn like gardening stuff. So I
Right.
reached out to Cayce from Boots and Bounty, Lisa Yogi Hollow, Monica Bland's Promised Land Ranch, and Alicia from
Right.
Country Mama Music. I said, hey, what do you think about doing a podcast? And they're like, okay, cool.
Why not?
And we've had a couple of them drop off since the beginning. And then when we started season 4, it was me, Alicia, and Monica, and we just got Andale from Andale Homestead, which
right.
it was like getting Oprah on your show, when you're kind of like, let me tell you, I just love Anne, but when
she's funny,
I'm a little starstruck every time I see her,
right?
Because one, she's super knowledgeable, but two, she's so down to earth, and she's just like a cool human being.
Yep.
So yeah, so it was cool to have her on. But now we joke all the time on our podcast, and she's like, I have to go get my protein drink, which is a Coca-Cola.
Coke,
that don't know.
Exactly.
So
she was sitting behind stage when I did this. I did this. No, she did game night, I think it was. And she's sitting backstage and she's like, I gotta get my protein drink. Get my protein. She drank that like 7-8 times before we started. I'm like, okay.
And we shoot at night, Tony. So we shoot mine. My time, we shoot from like 10 p.m. until like 2 o'clock in the morning, usually on podcast night, because we do 3 or 4 episodes.
Right.
So she can go through a couple protein drinks in a night. So can I, really.
Wow. Yeah, but I'm sure your protein drinks are a little different than hers.
Mine are actually real protein drinks, like Monster. Okay. The terrible,
not awful a protein drink either. I thought you were going to say, a banana shake or raspberry or cucumber.
Oh no, God, that only would make me more hungry.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so now we move into the next phase of questions, and these questions for the next 20 will be: what is your favorite? What is your least favorite? Okay. So, what is your favorite color?
Green.
Okay. And what is your least favorite color?
Black. Even though I'm a big boy, so I have to wear black to look thin. I will say I can't stand black. It's very depressing to me.
Oh, that reminds me of Robin Williams when he's doing Good Morning Vietnam and he's talking about something Charlie. See him in black, wear pearls. He can go out at night or he can come home and work during the day. And I'm like, oh Lordy. Okay, what is your favorite number?
Oh, that's a good one. 88.
What is your least favorite number? Equally as hard. Sorry.
Equally as hard. I would say. Since it's a late night one, I really don't like the number 69. I think it's grotesque. Even like when you're writing it down, I was like, oh, I know I seem very like prudish for that, but I was like, not really a fan of the number 69.
No, because it's turned into something it was never intended.
It has.
That's the problem.
By them youngins.
Yes. Hello, Big Valley Living. Michelle, thank you for coming in. And just so you know, 2 things I haven't had a chance to tell you. I do write the answers down, but it's for the questions for next week. I'm not going to come and stalk you or use them against you somewhere down the road.
No, I love it. I love a good stalking.
And the second one is, if I ask a question you don't want to answer, you just say, can we pass? And I'll pass. But none of them typically come across that way, so hopefully you'll be fine. Okay.
Nah, I'm pretty open.
Okay. What is your favorite season of the year? Time of year, season.
Definitely winter. I wish that Georgia. Yes, I wish that Georgia would have a better winter than we do, because we don't really get like a winter.
We can move up to Washington and have winter all 6 months long.
You know what's funny is I was joking one night on the podcast, and I told Monica, I said, I'm moving up to West Virginia because I read that they get all 4 seasons. And she was like, that's really random. I said, yeah. It is, but I want snow. I want snow. So, and we're
Oh,
supposed to get it this year.
oh
So,
yeah.
knock on wood that we're going to get some this year. Okay. It's a long
Here
tangent for the
here you
question.
go. Blue says that she's just grabbing her protein drink and making Tanny's lunch. She drinks.
Oh,
She's a Coke drinker too. So
Coke. You should
yeah.
sponsor both of these ladies.
So I always get teased, and it was something Mitchell from Hendricks and Family Farm, I believe, started a long time ago. I think that's who it was. He always teases and says that I live in the armpit of Canada.
That's so wrong,
It is wrong.
but
We've already
it's
had snow.
somewhat true. Oh yeah, I know. I'm jealous
Yeah.
of all of y'all.
Yeah. All right. What is your least favorite season? If winter's your favorite, what's your least favorite? And I think I already know. Summer.
Summer.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's the pit sweat, it's the back sweat, it's the forehead sweat, it's the neck sweat, it's the sweat. It's the sweat for me.
Sweat. Okay. What is your now? This may be something current and it can be something past. Okay. What is or was your favorite TV show?
Oh, okay. Well, currently, favorite TV show is A Little House on the Prairie. Alicia got me addicted to it again. But
I was
Little
like,
House,
that is not a current show.
it's definitely not a current show, but it's on for free on the app Freevee. And I don't know why I saw a GIF about Little House on the Prairie, and I was like, I need to watch the show. I've never watched it. So I did, and I'm on season 3, and it's good. I'm addicted.
My wife calls it Little House on the Depression.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of how the town is where I live. So,
well, okay, you kind of relate then. I get that.
I do.
I know Laura Ingalls acts like Jane down the road here.
Right, my neighbor.
Yeah. Excuse me. What is your least favorite TV show?
Okay. And I will only say this because I'm really not a huge reality show fan. And it was funny because I was just watching this before I came onto your live, but The Bachelor. It's just so like super cheesy. Because I know how television works. So I know that kiss that was supposed to be romantic probably took 9 shots.
Yes.
And that his breath probably smells like onions from
from
the lunch before.
I wonder if his breath tastes like the pastrami sandwich he just had,
her breath probably tastes like the cheap Chardonnay that they serve most of the women. So I'm just, even though I watched it, and this new one is the older Bachelor, which is so cute. I'm here for it, 74-year-old Bachelor, right. But it still like makes me the Bachelor. So,
okay, what is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I would probably say The Notebook. As cheesy as that sounds, love The Notebook. That was a good movie. Good romantic one.
What is your least favorite movie?
Least favorite movie. I don't like a lot of movies, so that's a hard one. I'm not a movie person. Least favorite movie.
And when I say least favorite, it's not necessarily it's the worst, but it's not something like in movies you wouldn't go out and waste money to go watch it again.
I wouldn't go back and watch any of the Halloweens.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
That's a common theme on here. Any horror nobody wants to see.
I'm not a horror. I'm just not a movie. I'm a TV show. Because I get invested and I want to continue watching, right. And you can't with movies. So,
okay, there's an empty plate sitting in front of you, and you can have whatever you want. What would your favorite dinner be?
Oh, Mexican by far.
Anything in particular?
Taco? No, fajitas.
All right, and then same plate, empty. What would be the last thing you would put on that plate?
A well-done steak. No shoe leather for me.
I pegged you for liver and onions kind of person.
Oh, actually, we have some that are fried here at the gas station, and they're not terrible.
Oh, okay.
Well, anything fried is good. So
Well, yeah. Depending on which angle you're coming from, yes.
that's true.
What is your favorite fruit?
Um, I can see all the jokes now, but I do enjoy a banana.
Okay.
So I do enjoy a banana.
Then what is your least favorite fruit? One you wouldn't pick up first if you
Grapefruit.
Okay. And then kind of along the same lines, what would be your favorite vegetable?
Favorite vegetable. I do love me some asparagus.
Okay.
I do love me some asparagus.
I can't even spell now. Sorry. What is your least favorite vegetable?
Carrot. No, broccoli. The little green trees. Broccoli. Has to be broccoli.
Okay. Gonna stump you here.
Uh-oh.
What is your favorite kitchen tool?
Oh,
And
that's
you only
hard.
get one.
That's a hard question.
Hello, Dan.
Oh, hey, Jan. Okay, so I have my 3, but now I have to choose what's my most favorite. I'm gonna say right now, and where my life is right now, my electric pressure canner is probably my most favorite tool, only because it saves my life during canning season.
Okay. And then on the flip side, what's your
Mhm.
least favorite kitchen tool?
The microwave. I sound like Doug and Stacy.
My questions are out of order. That's not good. There we go. One of the best answers I ever got was from Ryan, Heavenly Hills Homestead. He said the fly swatter was his favorite tool.
Oh yeah, to get those Louis.
They live on a huge farm, horses, cows, they get flies all over the place. And anyway, again, this is another one that might be from the past. It could be current, whichever it is. What is or was your favorite board game?
Yahtzee. I have to say Yahtzee.
I haven't had that one come up yet, so good.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's an old school one.
What is your least favorite board game, or was?
Monopoly.
That's the standard.
Monopoly. Yeah.
Okay.
Monopoly.
we live near Spokane, and they have a version Spokeanopoly, and it's like
there's everything Monopoly now, especially with movies and everything. It makes me sick.
Yep. Okay, the next 10 questions are kind of along the same lines, except they're not what's your favorite, what's your least favorite. They'll just be straightforward. Here's the question. We'll move to the next one. Okay.
Okay.
What is your favorite hobby?
Currently right now, I really am enjoying gardening.
Okay.
Really enjoying it. Now, maybe not in the past week because I'm over it, but I have really been enjoying gardening.
Well, and that's kind of one of those unfair answers. I'm not asking you to take it back, but it's kind of unfair because that's kind of what you do too. So, you know, I get it. Though.
Yeah, you have to get yourself up to those.
Yeah. What is your least favorite chore?
Cleaning the turkey pen.
Yeah, you did that on video, and I was like, I know it was chicken coop is what you did.
It was the chicken coop, and I don't mind the chicken coop.
Oh no.
They don't, you know what's funny is turkeys actually smell so much worse than chickens. Really? And my Tom he's a bully, so it's a fun.
What is your favorite time of day?
I really enjoy, I call it cocktail hour, but it's like 5 to 7.
Okay.
So not cocktail 2 hours, but I really do enjoy the.
Yeah, I was going to say that's 2, but
I know.
okay.
But
I knew what you meant.
appetizer
Right.
hour
Right.
kind of thing, I do like that. Because
Before
chores are
dinner, after work, that
Mhm.
kind of time in there. Yeah.
right.
What is your favorite day of the week?
Sunday.
Who is your favorite actor, male?
Favorite actor male. Hmm. Jason Momoa. I just think because there was a couple of them. That was another good one.
I always knew if I ever got asked these questions, that would be a hard one for me.
Yes, because you think like, do you have like a one that's a good actor? That's why you like
Mhm.
him, or you have an actor because we all know why, or is it just the first person that popped? Who is he? Who's is like being for real, or for real, for real?
I believe she's being for real. She's not sure who that
Um,
is.
he is married to one of the Bill Crosby kids back when Cosby, when the Cosby Show was on. I guess in Aquaman.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He was in Game of Thrones at the very beginning.
Lori, for real, I'm old.
No, you if you saw him, you would know who he was because most all women and myself know who Jason Momoa is.
Okay.
And he's like 9 feet tall. Maybe 8'9".
I'm going to do this one time for Lori because she asked. I don't usually go about and figure this out for people. But
Who it is. Oh
will.
yeah. That's who he's married to.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Jason Momoa.
Who's he married to?
Lisa, is it Bonet? I think that's
Oh,
how you say her
Bonet.
last name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet. Okay.
And they've been
So we
married a
got,
long time too.
yeah. All right. So who's your favorite actress?
Rachel McAdams because of The Notebook and Mean Girl.
Okay. What is your favorite saying?
Girl, bye. I say that way too much, especially to my chickens.
Blue says he's not married to her anymore. They split.
Oh, you just made my night, Blue.
I was going to say that didn't hurt your feelings any.
Not at all.
What is
I
your
think
favorite?
he's married to somebody else now, probably.
What is your favorite song?
Rise Up by Kane.
That's a good song, actually.
It is. I
What
love
is your
them. So
What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Okay. What book would you read if given the choice that you've not read before?
Oh, that I've not read before. I don't know because I'm not a book person.
Okay.
And the only ones that I would read again are ones that I have read.
Okay. Being not a book person, I'll give you what book would you
You
read
know,
again?
I would read something from Nicholas Sparks because I like the stuff that was turned into movies. So,
Barks,
I would say
B-A-R.
Lake
Go ahead.
House. I would say Lake House.
Lake House. Okay. That's what we'll go with. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you have 20 more questions going back
Okay.
to the favorite, least favorite thing. Okay.
Okay.
What is or was, it was in your case, and I understand that. What was your favorite subject in school?
Lunch.
Jan says these are hard questions, Tony.
I'm telling you, Jan.
Lunch was your favorite subject in school. That is it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, now I really like history, but while I was in school, lunch.
Lunch. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What was your least favorite subject in school?
When I was in school was history, but now I love it.
Now you love it. That's funny.
Hmm.
What is your favorite pizza topping?
Okay, so I have to say that I just tried this because we were on our morning radio show and somebody told me about pineapples on a pizza. And I was like, that's disgusting.
Mm.
And I tried it and it was pineapple and barbecue and
Oh
it was
yeah.
so good. So I
Try
am,
try barbecue, pineapple, and chicken with a mixed cheddar mozzarella cheese.
I think it had the chicken on there. I
Oh,
think it
that's
was like a chicken barbecue with
yes.
pineapple. It was,
Yep.
but I would say pineapple.
Okay. Now, the funny part about that is when I ask the next question, which is what is your least favorite topping? That's usually where the pineapple goes.
Oh yeah, no, I would definitely say anchovies.
I'm with you on that one.
What?
Yep. Okay. Like the dinner question, you have a plate
Mhm.
in front of you. What would be
Mhm.
the best favorite breakfast you could have?
This is really bougie, but I love quiche.
Okay.
Mm.
We were just talking. Oh, it was my game night. We were talking about quiche then. Somebody just said Alfredo pizza is the bomb. Try garlic chicken Alfredo and
Oh,
add onions and mushrooms to it. Oh, that is so good.
mm,
Anyways,
that sounds good.
okay,
Hungry
same
now.
plate, same plate. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you hungry. Same plate, but what would be the last thing you would put on that plate?
For breakfast?
Yes.
Mm. What are those little the egg wrap things that not a beignet, crepe?
You don't like grapes?
No,
Wow.
it's the
That's it. We
consistency for
can't be
me.
friends anymore. I'm done.
Now I love
Oh,
pancakes.
it's a
If it was a,
consistency thing for you?
I
Really?
think so, because it's just thin and wobbly, and I'm like,
Uh,
oh,
okay. Okay. I want to eat dinner tonight when I get done,
right.
so we'll move
Oh,
on.
are you having crepes? I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. We're actually having pork loin for dinner tonight. What is or was either or your favorite cartoon character?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, I already knew that for some reason.
Hmm. Yeah, everybody like I'll get the trolls on my videos that say that I look like Patrick. So
You
I'm
know what I
going
love
to.
about watching your lives? You'll be in there doing your thing and you'll have
Um,
a troll pop up and you're going, goodbye.
uh,
You just nonchalantly take care of them
I
and away
don't,
they go.
I don't let them, I don't stun them. I don't
No,
stun them. I mean, I thank them for that view, and
right.
then you can keep it moving.
Lori, that's awesome. Cool. Lori made a pork loin for dinner tonight too. Who is or was your least favorite cartoon character?
This is gonna be so controversial, but I'd have to say Batman.
Batman?
Hmm.
Like 1960s?
Like the cartoon
Halls,
one,
Halls of
not
Justice Batman?
like just the cartoon one. Period.
Okay.
And I'm not a fan of the real life one neither.
Well, yeah. Depends on who's playing it, but yes, I'll go
Yeah,
along with that.
I guess that's true.
What is your favorite drink?
Are we talking non-alcoholic or alcoholic or?
It's your question to answer, so you answer it the way you want to.
I think most people will probably expect me to say wine, but I really do enjoy a good Coke Zero.
A good Coke Zero, wouldn't they all taste the same theoretically?
No,
Oh, they
no.
don't.
You got the fountain, you got the can, you got the bottle.
Okay.
The can is the most amazing thing ever. And if you go to McDonald's, then you'll get a good Coke Zero. Everything else, flat, nasty, horrible, probably because it's in plastic.
Okay, I'll go with
No.
it. I never thought of
Mhm.
it that way, so that'll work. What is your least favorite drink?
Mm, probably grapefruit juice.
You're hating on this grapefruit, aren't you?
You know what's crazy, because that's what I was drinking the other night on my live. So I was, well, it was a grapefruit soda, so it was a little bit
A
different,
little different, but
a little
okay.
different than the juice.
Okay. Historically speaking, not personally,
uh,
what is your favorite moment in time?
oh my, see, Jan, he got me all of these questions.
Eh,
Um, because okay, so there's like one that was a terrible time, but it's very interesting to do like research and learn about.
uh-huh.
So that is why I'm answering Salem witch trials.
Okay. Don't anybody read into it more than you need to. There's a reason
Yes,
behind it.
no, I
Okay.
don't, because I can hear my comments on the video. Cayce is one of those wannabe Christian, want to kill everybody. No, I just think it's a very interesting time. So
I get that. I get
don't
that.
come for me.
Yes. What is your least favorite moment in time, historically speaking?
Um, probably 9/11.
Okay. What sound do you enjoy the most?
My turkey,
The one who
honestly.
poops everywhere.
Yeah, and who's a bully,
Okay.
but he has the funniest gobble, and he like stretches his neck out like he's like really trying really hard to do it. So
Right. There's why your Coke Zero tastes better at McDonald's than it does everywhere else.
I did know that. That was, I think, where somebody found out that there was actually back in the day cocaine in Coke. It's a thing. Look it up.
Oh no, I know it is.
As
I just didn't know McDonald's was where.
well, where that's why I think they were the first ones to step out of the regular recipe that Coca-Cola had. So,
Because it had cocaine.
and it's okay if it still does because it's good.
There you go. Blue says you haven't burned her at the stake yet, so
See, I haven't. So it's all good. I love you.
what sound annoys you the most?
Hmm. And you know, it's funny that I would say this because I do this a lot during allergy season, but you know that like the itching of the back of your throat and it kind of sounds like a pig. Like like
Yeah, I knew what
when you're
you meant. I
itching.
just couldn't replicate it. I get you.
And I do it all the time, but when I hear somebody else do it, I'm like, oh my God, like
Go to
knock
the
it off.
bathroom and get away from
Like,
me.
but I do it all the time. But that is my least favorite by far.
Hello, Miss Stephanie. Thank you for coming in. What is your favorite restaurant?
Mm. And you know, I will say this restaurant, even though I worked there for 15 years and they did me wrong, but I do love me some Longhorn. I do love
Okay.
some Longhorn.
And then what is your least favorite restaurant?
Wendy's. It's fast food, but restaurant, right?
Right.
Wendy's.
So far, what has been your favorite age?
I'm gonna be honest. When I was 30,
Okay.
I've been liking the 30s so far. So when I turned 30, which of course y'all, if everybody knows, that was just yesterday.
I was gonna say that wasn't that long ago.
Well, it wasn't yesterday either. I'm a little bit older than 30 now, but the 30s have been very good. I'm mid 30s,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
I've liked them so far.
What is your least favorite age so far?
Listen, early 20s, 21. I'll throw 21 out there.
Okay. What is your favorite smell?
Again, only because it's a late night show with you, Tony. But
Oh, Lordy.
Mary Jane is, I can't stand that smell.
No,
Can't
your
stand it.
favorite smell.
Oh, my favorite smell. My favorite. Oh, sorry. Okay. I would have to say like a Fraser fir, like a Christmas tree pine
Oh, okay.
kind of scent.
Okay. And then, of course, the most controversial question we have on here is what is your least favorite smell? But you kind of already divulged that.
I did. Mary Jane.
Okay. Excuse me. We move into a different segment of questions now.
Okay.
And on this, you have 8 of them. Okay.
Okay.
But they're a little different.
Okay. I feel like I'm applying for a job.
And I apologize for that. It's not supposed to be uncomfortable.
No, but it's so funny. Like all these questions for the jobs now that they give you.
Yes.
You're like there and you're like, okay, oh, what name 3 things of myself that I like? And I'm like, nothing. How does that? You know?
They're more like psychological evaluations than they are anything. Yes.
Yeah, I'm crazy. Hire me.
You feel worse about yourself when you leave from the interview than you did when you walked in to get the job. Yeah.
Right.
What is no, let me start that over. If you could be a tree, what tree would you be and why?
Fraser fir. Because it's a Christmas tree and they don't lose their leaves.
Okay. If you could be a hot beverage, what would you be and why?
I would probably be a spiked pear cider. Because I'm strong, a lot to handle, and a little bit sweet. Just a little bit, just a hint of sweet.
Just a little smidge, right?
Just a small.
Okay.
It's store-bought.
If you could be an animal, what would you be and why?
A dog, because they really just don't do anything but lay around, eat, whine. Well, at least that's what mine does.
Depending on which part of the world you're living in, that could change. You know?
Right.
Yes. If you could be an insect, what would you be and why?
Oh, I would say insect. Probably a cockroach because it can't die.
Okay.
Live forever.
Just like a Twinkie.
Right.
All right. Would your badge of honor have a lion, a tiger, an eagle, or an elephant on it?
Probably a lion.
Okay. Would your badge of success have the color blue, silver, gold, or green?
Gold.
Would your badge of bravery have a knife, a sword, a crossbow, or a pair of fists?
Pair of fists.
Would your badge of compassion have a symbol of love, empathy, care, or kindness?
Empathy.
You made it through the hard ones. Now we move on to homesteading.
Okay. See, that I can easily answer.
You think you haven't heard the questions yet.
Yikes. Here we go, Jan.
Cayce, what is your definition of a homesteader?
Providing food for your family, whether that is growing it yourself, buying it from local farmers, or buying it from a grocery store, canning, preserving, freezing it, however, but living a simpler lifestyle. So it's not just somebody that does it themselves. It is somebody that preserves it or meal preps or that kind of stuff, in my opinion.
Okay. What is the biggest challenge with homesteading from your point of view?
I think that people think that it's a lot easier than it is because You get a lot of the bigger channels now and the bigger Instagram channels that only show the good stuff of homesteading and the beauty, and they show their house the day after it was cleaned. And then you get real life that you have tomatoes all over your counter and you have pumpkins all over your floor.
And the dog's running around and the refrigerator broke down and you got a
exactly
cow outside and your turkey's pooping everywhere.
Yeah, that's mine every day. And you're tired and don't really want to go take care of any of it. So
and guess what? The kids have soccer practice in 15 minutes too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. On top of all that.
Yeah.
So I would basically say that is the one thing that people don't understand is how emotionally, mentally, and physically tough homesteading is. But it's a beautiful lifestyle. I always say I don't want to like deter people from wanting to live it, but I always say there should have been a brochure that's mailed to you. One of those, like, it snatches and it like falls out. So
I'm not sure where that comes from, but I agree there should be one.
There should be a brochure.
Yeah. What is the most rewarding thing for you about homesteading?
When you're making dinner or making a meal and 100% of what was on that plate is something that you grew or raised or canned or meal prepped.
You are the third person that has said it exactly that way. And I think that's a wonderful answer because I think it really engulfs that pride feeling of what you've done,
and it
which
is,
you put a lot of hard work into.
You do. And especially, as a canner, when we look at your canning room and you're like, oh, so proud of it. But then you have to tell yourself, now at some point, Cayce, you do need to eat that food.
Yes.
So you can't just leave it there and let it sit.
But see that, what's funny about that, because like when I started up Jam It Up June and then we went into Jarred Up July and I was looking at Marmalade May and all that, everybody's like, you can only do so many things. And it's like, I actually intentionally try to argue with people because it doesn't have to be just pancakes and French toast and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Right. We make a lot of sauces. We make a lot of desserts using it as a filling. If I can make a pie with my caramel apple pie jam, right? I mean, there's things you can do with it that are quick and easy and make life.
Roasts are amazing with jellies too. Yeah. Like if you do like your chili sauce from your peppers and your jams and pork, and that's really good. So
your plum jam, I was like, oh, I bet you that is perfect on pork tenderloin.
It's so good. And let me tell you, I never can keep it to ever try it and use it for meats because we sell out of it at the farmer's market, but two, it's so good on homemade bread that I'm like,
it never gets that far.
Yeah, it never gets far enough for meat.
That's funny. What fruit or vegetable would you love to grow that you've not done so far?
Next year I'm doing more fruit trees. I would say the one that I really want to try and I'm ready to try is a lemon tree.
So Michelle, who's in here, Big Valley Living, she lives in California and she has Meyer lemon trees. She has all kinds of citrus. I'm jealous of
it. That's what I'm looking into ordering is I think it's Starks Brothers, that the orchard or tree place that had a deal for Meyer lemon, key lime, and clementine. The dwarf
and I
trees.
think she has all three of them, if I know correctly.
And sometimes I accidentally press order on the credit card, and then it magically appears. So
yes,
that's what
it's funny how that works,
right?
What animal would you like to raise the most if you were given the chance? No limitation on money or location or space. What would you love to be able to raise?
Horse.
Okay.
A horse.
What is one thing you want to accomplish on your homestead that you've not done this far, aside from the lemon tree or have a horse?
Meat birds. So we're starting meat birds this spring. And I'm really excited about that because not only will we have it for my family, but we'll have it to sell. And so I feel like I'm like a big boy homesteader now that I'm getting into the meat bird side of stuff. Like I feel like I'm like a not quite a senior, but maybe a sophomore, junior, maybe in between those 2 years. So,
All you care about is when you get to homecoming and it's done and you can move on, right?
right. And homecoming is, the meet the freezer camp day.
Yep.
So
Yep. What is one thing you've done homesteading that you regret doing?
that I regret doing. Probably watermelons because I could never get it started and it was no fun. And I'm in the South, so we should be able to grow watermelons like
Crazy.
weeds,
Yeah.
but I don't. So I've given up on that. I'm just going to buy it from somebody else.
I wonder if it's your micro environment that's causing part of that.
See, I've had like soil tested and everybody's come over to look and they're like, oh, they should grow great here. I'm like, well, they didn't.
Do you think it could be operator malfunction possibly?
I thought about that. I did. And because a lot of my friends are like, oh, I just go and I throw my watermelon seeds out. I'm like,
I've heard that.
I literally like took time to like germinate the seeds indoors, transplant them, added all the stuff you're supposed to add. I just didn't want to. Watermelons are not really my thing. So, and I'm okay with it.
You got enough other things to do.
I got other things.
Okay. Last scripted question for you. What do you love about the community in which you feel you are a part of on YouTube?
I think that they're always eager to help when somebody reaches out, whether that be advice or whether that be someone that you can just vent to. I think support when tragedy happens, I think, is a huge thing. It's very humbling to see a lot of the homesteaders repost or post about if another homesteader is going through financial hardships or anything that it's reposted. So I think that's probably the most rewarding to see that, and especially ones that you're really close to that do that on the regular. And the bigger channels, I'm trying to, when we were talking about Ann Dale is one of those who's just like a good-hearted person that will do anything for anybody at any point. So, and she's a big channel, or bigger.
Bigger.
On Instagram, she's a big channel.
Yes.
Crazy. Like we call her our Instagram celebrity. But that's the thing that I'm most humbled by, is seeing that.
And I love how you put that, actually, because you said humbled. That to me shows that you take to heart what comes your direction, like what you're describing, and it's an emotion. It's not just a word you're throwing out there, and I think that's great.
Well, I think it kind of puts into perspective for especially a lot of YouTubers that are over a certain subscriber count, whatever you want to call that, that at some point, giving back is something that's kind of, I don't want to say that you owe giving back to it, but you kind of do, because I always joke with celebrities that, when celebrities wouldn't pay attention to their fans, I'm like, well, they're the ones that got you there. Really, your subscribers or the people that watch you and comment are really the ones that have gotten you to that level of the subscriber level, whatever it is. And giving back at some point, whether it's helping them out with their channel or giving them a shout out or whatever it is kind of, you need to do that as a bigger channel. And you ain't never too big to respond back to people's emails. I'm just gonna say it.
No, and that, I think what's important is the communication. That's the hard part. You and I, without going into detail, we've had our own communication issues, but we were able to move past that. Some people can't. Some people they get stuck. But I think it's the level of hurt and harm
True.
that's not seen, that becomes part of a problem, you
Mhm.
know. And what I loved about our
And
school,
YouTube is so high school.
it
It's
is.
it's so
It is.
funny. It's like being back in high school and everybody's the same age, but we're not. So,
Right.
and it's like texting. Like when somebody's texting and you're reading it in a certain emotion, you're like, how did you know that's how they texted you that?
Right.
Like they could have been really calm, but you're reading it all, and it's the same way for YouTube. You don't really know
Mhm.
how that comment was intended. Um, or
Communication nowadays kind of
right.
rolls that way, unfortunately,
So
you know.
I
And
just try to stay away
writing
from all of it.
writing on a letter is not, I mean, kids don't even know what that is now, you know.
They're like, what? What is that? What is that
Yeah.
paper and pen
Yeah.
for?
I love the reel that goes around where the dad sets put a rotary phone in the middle of the table, and they're all like, "What is that?" Okay,
EP phone home.
yeah,
Yeah.
is that a prop from a movie, Dad? Is that what? Yeah.
Oh my word.
Is there anything about your channel you would like to add that we haven't discussed or talked about or mentioned?
Um, I would probably say, because I try to have a lot of fun on my channel, so I tried
Mhm.
not to be too serious, but I am very serious when it comes to my canning and um my preservings and my kitchen stuff. I just
Mhm.
make it very joking, and I think for people to know that I do have a little knowledge on some things in the kitchen and that kind
Some
of stuff. And
things.
if I joke about it, it really is just joking. I do kind of know what I'm doing in the canning, so I'm not going to blow
And I
anything
know
up.
what you're talking about. I mean,
Yes,
you get it or you don't, you know.
you either like, and especially when it comes to canning,
Right. Right.
I would not make a video on canning if I did not have knowledge on it beforehand. So,
Well, and I think that's also important too. You need to figure out if you're going to utilize a channel. I would never recommend that somebody just hops on YouTube and watches. Nothing against you personally, nothing
mhm,
against me personally. I don't want you coming on Cayce's channel or my channel and saying that's how I'm going to do it, because that's how I started.
right.
I learned the hard way that there's a way to do
Mhm,
things. Okay. That applies to whatever we're talking about, whether it's
right,
vegetable gardening, fruit gardening, animal raising, all of that. Do your own research. You need
right.
to.
Absolutely. And
Having,
we say that all the time on our
yeah,
podcast. Like when we give advice, it's stuff that we have learned on our journey of doing it our way. This is how we
right.
do it. And especially with canning,
Hmm.
when you are canning, you need to find a way and do the research that makes you feel comfortable about what you're doing.
Right.
Even the channels that have 700,000-800,000 subscribers,
Hmm.
you may not feel comfortable doing something the way she does it.
Hmm.
So take a little tidbit from it, take a little bit of her knowledge, but do your own research and figure out how you want to do it for your family. Um, and
I
hit
like how
that
you put that
subscribe
out
and
there.
thumbs up.
Whatever she does.
Mhm. Listen, because I learned, and not to call her out, but I learned from Sarah at Living Traditions Homestead, which
Right.
probably a lot of us did on YouTube.
Hmm.
Obviously, almost 900,000 people watch her.
Somebody's watching her.
Somebody's watching her. And now that I've gotten into the kind of swing of homesteading and canning and all that kind of stuff over a couple years, there are a couple things I'm like, oh, I'm not really going to do it like that. But okay, you do you, girl. And I've learned enough
Ultimately,
from you safety wise that I can make my own
ultimately
decisions.
you have to make the choice to do what fits you, whatever
Right.
that is. Okay.
Mhm.
And I made the I went on the canning police mode for a while, and I finally
Mhm.
got to a point because somebody told me you can't fix what they're learning, and you don't know where they learn from and how
Right.
they learn. And as much as I may disagree with it from the knowledge side of it,
Mhm.
there are people that have done things for hundreds of years, 150 years. Their
Right.
family has ran a recipe and nobody's ever gotten sick. I'm not here to say that's right or wrong. You got to figure that out on your own.
Those
This
good
is the
old
way
rebel
I do it,
canners.
but this is the way I do it. This is the way I won't do it. And either you like the content or you won't. That's
Right.
your choice. And it
Right.
applies to your channel or anybody else's, I would
Mhm.
assume. So yes.
Agreed.
Okay. So we're done. You made it through. We got through the questions. We're only a couple minutes behind, so we're doing good. I'm going to make this as quick as I possibly can because at the end we do a giveaway. This week's giveaway will be it's popping up. There you go.
Pretty.
Yep. Okay.
Beautiful.
You have 1 minute. You have 1 minute to answer this question from Wendy's live interview we did last week. And here you go. When I asked Wendy, can you tell us what milestones on YouTube you have stood out the most for you? She gave a very specific answer. It has to be the answer she gave. Okay. Your minute starts now. So just for your knowledge, I used to actually give them a little while to do it until I found out some people were cheating and going back and watching the videos real quick, trying to figure out what the answer was. It's like, oh, we're not doing that. All right. So just so you know, yeah, you're seeing it. Jan says you have rocked it.
Thanks, boo. Thank you.
Michelle says you're the bomb diggity.
Thank you, Michelle. Bomb diggity. I'm gonna start telling myself that every morning. I'm like, you are the bomb diggity. That's what I'm gonna tell myself for real, Michelle. I'm gonna start doing that every morning and think of you.
Xander, the question. I need the answer to Wendy's question. Can you tell us what milestone on YouTube have stood out for you the most? Exact answer. That's the question. And your time is up, guys. 1 minute has passed. And I'm not seeing any answer come up. Where's Nanny Tan? She said she was ready for me tonight. I'm not seeing anything.
I'm not seeing nothing.
No.
Is everybody as stumped as I was?
I don't have an answer coming up, so 100 back to good said at least took a guess. No, that is not correct. They're saying I glitched and Nanny Tam says she can't find it. So she did go back to look. Your answer is
I put one in, but it's taking forever.
Well, I'll wait for your answer to pop up. Not that I should. First video, no. Her milestone that meant the most to her was her 500 live.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was a good one. My voice cut out when you said the question, so we didn't know what to answer. I lingered on a little bit though, guys, and nobody came up with the answer. So, and I did repeat it when Dark Lord said it. So, sorry.
Oh, sorry, y'all. That was a good answer though. 500 live.
And I like
that's when people are doing lives now. See, back when I hit 500, people really weren't doing lives except like the big giant ones.
Look at Jan. And Nanny Tam just found it. So, and she took notes and still lost. Well,
I'd be the same way. I lose my notes.
I get it. Well, I like that you came on. I appreciate it. I'm glad.
I'm so thankful you asked me to come back after all my internet.
You know,
Loveliness.
It happens though. You know, I mean, my internet is connected by Dale's got baling wire and other things, and mine's hooked up from broken power lines and flagpoles. So you know, I get it.
Let me tell you, the only reason that I had gotten good internet now, and I guess I have to give thanks to Leanne on this one at Mennonite Farmhouse, is she told me when we were on a live that she used her hotspot on her cell phone, and I was like, Girl, there's my favorite. Girl, bye. That's I told you I use it all the time. When she said that, I was like, girl, bye. That's not going to do a live.
Right.
And
Right.
I switched and started doing it. And I'm telling you, I have the best. I'm able to live stream. I'm better shoot podcasts. So y'all use it. Listen, the hotspot on your cell phone.
So, Lori, prepping for
Thank
heaven.
you.
Food. Dale said it was a great interview, and your internet is great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And Michelle wants to know if you have a video about your nice home and settings. Phenomenal.
I have a video on kind of like before and after last Christmas. And then we're going to do another one this year because a couple more rooms have been done. So the final tour of the home, since it's been remodeled, will be this Christmas.
Okay. So I'm gonna hold you to that, Miss Jan. I actually will tell you what it will be right now. We are gonna go with Jan coming on the 30th of November.
Oh, I'm gonna be in the chat too, helping. I got your back, Jan. I'm gonna be in the chat for you. I got your back.
I love it. How does he spell his name? Cayce, but the channel name is Ormsby, Ormsby. I always want to say BSY. I don't know why, or the other way around. I always want to say it the opposite way.
Look at me. I'm trying to like figure out how to spell it.
I know it's your name. Stephanie, I will put you on the week after. So there you go. I am not okay. Thanksgiving is next Thursday because of our time zone, the time zone that most of the Thursday night channels do theirs, is right when we'll have dinner. So for that reason, I will not have a live next Thursday. It sounds like they're going to go ahead and the rest of the channels are going to get together at the White Rock time and do an hour-long live for everybody. But I just want you guys to know that it's nothing's wrong or anything. It's family night, and that's right in the middle of our dinner time usually. So I think it's important for me to be with them. So that is what I'm going to say. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody inside chat. I appreciate you guys coming up. Cayce, again, thank you for coming.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you to everybody that modded. And don't ever forget, be safe, think ahead, meal prep with ease, and preserve what you can. You guys have a good week. We'll talk to you later. We'll be back on the 30th. Have a good night, guys.